Sending out 8 top masters over there, before seeing the enemy die in an avalanche first, isn't this FC King bullshit? Elder Wu also suffered a blow. The 8 heavenly kings have followed him for so many years and started this business with him. Deep down in his heart, he has a deep feeling for the 8 heavenly kings. Now that the 8 great heavenly kings were all killed overnight, he would really not accept this kind of result for a while. After seeing the photos, Roger was shocked and felt that something was wrong. He opened his mouth and said, "Dad, Grandpa, why do I feel that the 8 great heavenly kings have so many injuries that look wrong? If they were in a car and had an avalanche, then they would most likely be caught in the car with snow. The injuries on their bodies should also be mostly crush injuries, but how I look at them now, they all seem to have been injured." As he said, he zoomed in on the photo of Lin Yuan's right arm and said, "Look at Lin Yuan's right arm as a whole bloody, it doesn't look like it's being crushed. There is also Iron Fist." His right arm was almost the same as Lin Yuan's right arm at the time. But other people's right arm did not suffer such injuries. If everyone had suffered an avalanche in the car, everyone would suffer. Injuries, the types should be similar, there shouldn't be such a big gap. Elder Wu, as well as all the Wu family members, showed extreme horror at this moment. Elder Wu tremblingly asked, "Roger, you mean, the 8 great heavenly kings were killed?" The Wu family did not want to believe that the 8 heavenly kings were beaten to death. Because if this is true, it proves that they have a very powerful enemy in the dark. But they have no idea who this enemy is. The Wu family didn't believe Charlie, and the people around him had this kind of strength. Regnar even speculated that whether the 8 great heavenly kings went to Changbai Mountain this time and accidentally provoke the local master of seclusion in Changbai Mountain. Elder Wu also thinks this thing is very possible. He is now deeply distressed. The 8 heavenly kings are not only his old friends, but also a major reliance on the prosperity of the Wu family. Now that this reliance is gone, it is likely to cause an earthquake in the family. As expected, Mr. Wu did not expect it. The Wu family dispatched the 8 heavenly kings to Changbai Mountain, and all the halberd-breaking events spread throughout the region within a short period of time. But all powerful family owners watched the fire from the other side, watching the jokes of the Wu family. The rise of the Wu family depends on 2 things. The first is that when Mr. Wu was young, he was courageous and strategic, stirring up the Orus Hill Sea of Commerce, and pushing the Wu family step by step to where it is today. The second is the 8 heavenly kings. The 8 heavenly kings are the right arm of Mr. Wu, as well as the Wu family's strategic weapon to deter foreign enemies. Anyone who pulls out is the mighty power of the Megatron. Relying on the 8 heavenly kings, the Wu family established a reputation in Orus Hill, and no one dared to make bad ideas. Otherwise, with the financial resources of the Wu family, the interested people have long been jealous, and they want to rush to tear the Wu family to pieces. Today, all the 8 heavenly kings have died in Changbai Mountain, and all the families in the south of the Yangtze River are all thinking together. In the current Wu family, Mr. Wu is bedridden, and the 8 heavenly kings died in battle. Who doesn't want to get a share? For a time, the situation in the south of the Yangtze River changed, and the forces in Suzhou were turbulent, which pushed the Wu family into the forefront. On the other side, Noah and Mrs. Wilson also came to Orus Hill People's Hospital. After arriving at the hospital, he hung up in andrology department. What embarrassed him was that he was already in his 40s and 50s, and it was embarrassing to see andrologist with his mother. However, Mrs. Wilson is so overbearing. If others don't let them ask about the things she wants to do, then she will definitely fight with them to the end. The mother and the son waited at the entrance of the clinic. Noah desperately endured the extreme itching. After waiting for more than 20 minutes, he finally yelled Noah's name. So, Noah stood up and said to Mrs. Wilson, "Mom, wait for me at the door, and I will go in by myself." Old Mrs. Wilson said immediately, "No, I want to go in too." Noah looked very embarrassed. How can he take Mom to the doctor to see this kind of thing? Old Mrs. Wilson gritted her teeth and said, "What? Do you want to hide this from me?" Noah said hurriedly, I definitely can't hide from you, Mom. It's just that after a while, the doctor will check on me. It would be too embarrassing to be in front of you. Don't worry, I will definitely know the results of the check. I'll give you the details? The old Mrs. Wilson nodded, and said, all inspections and results must be shown to me. Dare to hide that I will never forgive you. Noah stepped into the consulting room while getting up and struggling to endure the itching. In the consulting room, a doctor older than him was sitting in front of the computer when he saw him coming in, and he asked, why is it uncomfortable? Noah hurriedly said, Doctor, I constantly feel itchy in my place, and I don't know what's going on, so I want you to see it. The doctor had seen more similar cases, so he nodded and said, take off your pants. Although Noah was a little embarrassed, he still took off his pants obediently. The doctor just glanced at it and exclaimed, you seem to be in a serious situation. Didn't you go to that kind of place? Don't mention how embarrassing Noah is. Wherever he has been to a romantic place, he is nothing more than the sound of the waves with his wife. But he changed his mind to think about what the doctor meant. Doesn't it mean that his wife Horia is similar to the woman in special place? But he can only say to the doctor, Doctor, I haven't been to any special place.